Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining our event this morning. It's the next in our tech event series where we go through Microsoft technology that is available to you to use in your organization or your school. Today we're going to cover Microsoft education, and we're going to go look at specifically the Office part of it, the Microsoft Office side of it, and how to leverage Teams in your daily education journey. My name is Louis Trichard. I work for First Technology. I'm part of the advanced technology team. I'm a solutions architect and also a Microsoft certified trainer. So most of my days I spend putting solutions together, but my passion is teaching, and my passion is teaching people how to use Microsoft technology. So today, like I said, we're going to go through Microsoft Teams. So let's jump in. I just want to go through a little bit of an anatomy. We do have a Q&A section on the right-hand side. If you have any questions, please can you pop your questions into the Q&A side of things, and then I'll try and answer them as best I can in the session. Again, I don't know everything, so if I can't answer your questions in the session, I'll definitely follow up with you afterwards and we can discuss the questions further. So without any further waiting, let's jump straight into Microsoft Education. So why Microsoft Education? Why do we want to use the tools that we see on our screen here? You know, why do we want to use this? Now, there are a plethora of other tools out there, like Google Classroom, which I know a lot of the schools have looked at, and they seem to think it's free. And there are also other systems out there that the schools use. And the biggest issue that I see with systems like that, although the technology is not necessarily bad, is what are you preparing your students for? How are you preparing your students for the working world? More than 99% of Fortune 1000 companies use Microsoft Office. Okay, from those, 95% uses Office 365. The most required skill on a CV today is Microsoft Office. You know, and I'm pretty sure that you can't work at Google or Apple if you don't know how to use Microsoft Office. I mean, that's just the reality that we live in today. Microsoft Office is a skill needed throughout our working environment. When we employ staff at First Technology, we expect them that they have the foundation knowledge how to use Microsoft Office and their products, and so does many other organizations. Interesting thing I heard the other day, just chatting to a friend of mine around universities and the remote working tools, is that students that was not exposed to Microsoft Office at school takes almost 6 months to align with the Office products used at universities. Some universities even offer a 6-month bridging course just to get users comfortable using the Microsoft technology so that they can study effectively. So what I'm trying to say is it's probably in your students' best interest to use Microsoft Office and Microsoft Office 365 with Teams to facilitate your teaching. Now, you may ask me, what are the costs involved? Now, I'm not a licensing expert, but I do know that Microsoft has made Office 365 available free of charge for students from the age of 8 to 24. Okay, the website you can go to sign up your students is at mahala.ms, as you can see in the top here, mahala.ms, and here your students can sign up for a free Office 365 suite. That's 5 terabyte of OneNote storage. That is the Office app and the Office suite. And you can see this is all the Office. So you go in there, you can sign up. There's a bit of a process to select your school, your ID and that, so they just confirm that you are a student. But you can sign up here for schools. If you speak to our licensing department, and you can reach out to any of our account managers, there is also a licensing model for schools where faculty gets licensed, okay, at a reduced cost, and students' licenses are free. So the licenses that the student uses are for free. So Microsoft has made it a lot easier for schools to use their products. Also, the advantage of using Microsoft is that the skill is out there to support it. You don't have to run around and pay expensive labor rates to have the Microsoft environment maintained. So that is mahala.ms. There you can sign up your students or your kids, even your own kids, free of charge for the Office product. Then the second thing Microsoft has done is they've created a education center. Now, the education center, I think, is a pretty nifty initiative. Although I started studying teaching back in the day, I never taught in a school, but guys my age, a little bit older, teachers are used to writing with pen and paper. The technology thing, you're not too certain about it. You don't want to learn new stuff. It's difficult. The resources, everything is not available. So Microsoft has created this website called education.microsoft.com. I've signed in with my account, my Microsoft account, and then you can also sign up from Microsoft account. Then you'll get access on teacher resources. So how to assist technology in teaching, how to teach with technology, etc. You've got different courses teaching you the technology. So something that I hear a lot of teachers say to me is, yeah, but I don't know how the technology works. I'm a teacher, but I don't know how this new technology works. Well, Microsoft understands that you're a teacher and that you're great at your job, and they're not there to show you how to teach, but they certainly can help you to get access to courses that shows you how to use the technology. So they would like to help you with these courses to facilitate the teaching experience, not teach you how to teach. Then you've got different learning paths. So you've got like a grouping of courses that will show you with more progressive, in-depth difficulty, how to facilitate technology in your classroom environment. There's also some lesson plan ideas. I think this is pretty cool. I wish I had this back in the day, just to work out lesson plans, but you can get lesson plan ideas, classroom materials, and then there's also a achievement center. And then there's obviously the news and a few other things. So you can look at how remote learning and teaching works, what the clever guys say about that. Also some of the partnering programs that Microsoft has, in this case it's with NASA. And there's different learning paths. So you've got the Office 365 Teacher Academy, which takes pretty much what I'm going through today. Then you've got the OneNote in-depth academy, inclusive classroom specialization, etc. So you can go through these and see how they do that. So I suggest that you go to this website, education.microsoft.com, and you sign up here, and you'll be surprised at how much information Microsoft has made available. They've also created a peer system where you can connect with teachers around the world and discuss ideas. So, teaching is a calling, and certainly, it will help you get into contact with other teachers in your field. There's just a question in the notes here. Let me publish it. The question is, can students load Office on their phones? Most certainly. So the way Microsoft has licensed the products is that you're allowed to install the Office apps on up to 5 devices. So you can install it on 5 computer devices, 5 cell phones, or 5 tablets. Okay, so if you're like me, that's got a few devices, I've got 2 PCs, 2 tablets, and a phone. I can install my apps on all those devices. So it doesn't matter what device I'm working on, the student can access the information, the applications on those devices. And it's Windows, Mac OS, iOS, and Android. So it's very easy accessible. So let's go through some of the offering that Microsoft has given the education community or the schools. And we're going to jump into the landing page. Again, I've already signed in as my demo account, which is Teacher 1, and this is the landing page in Office 365. Now you can see here, this is not just a Teams application that you get. you get access to mail. So you've got a full mailbox that you get access to. So your mail is now sitting in the cloud. And again, sorry, I didn't set this up earlier. Let me just go set that up. So I can get a mailbox in the cloud. What I can also have is OneDrive. So you get a 5 terabyte OneDrive space. Now, it's very similar to Dropbox, just different, I suppose. But it's your space where you put your files you work on in the cloud on the Microsoft data center. And you've got 5 terabytes of space for that. You've also got access to all the Office applications online, so Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote. And you've got a few extra years educators. You've got a class notebook, which I've opened here for you. So you can see in the class notebook, I can create a class notebooks like math, English, geography, life sciences, etc. I'm not sure about the subjects anymore, and you can add and remove students, add and remove teachers, and manage the notebooks. And we're going to go through all these things in a little bit when I demonstrate Teams. What you can also do here is see the history of your files. So if you have been working on files, you will be able to see the files here and also see your OneDrive locations. So that is the general anatomy of the Office dashboard. The beauty about this dashboard is that you can access this from anywhere in the world. So as long as you've got an internet connected PC with a web browser, you can access this dashboard. So you don't necessarily have to be sitting on your machine in one location to work. You can access it from anywhere. So what I've done is I've opened up some of the applications I want to show you today. So again, this is my Outlook. So I just wanted to show you, this is where my mail will sit. So as you have Outlook application on your PC, you now also have access to the Outlook web app. So you can see I'll have my inbox here, I'll have my folders, etc. Now I'm not going to go to the get started tasks for now, but if I go to the inbox, I'll see my inbox here. I've got nothing in there at the moment, and I'll be able to have the preview pane. I will also be able to see my calendar, so I can manage my calendar settings and view my calendars, and I can also add extra calendars. So if I go add in here, I can go add a personal calendar. So if I need to manage my own environment or my own internal life, be it personal or work, I can add personal calendars. I can view teachers' calendars, people I work with calendars, and you can see there I can also add a few other funky calendars like sports calendars, etc. So that's the beauty of Office 365. I can now access my information, my calendar, my mail from anywhere in the world. I'm not going to go through too much of the Outlook training, so I'm going to close this out. And then I'm also going to look at Microsoft Forms. So something that Microsoft has given teachers is the Forms application. And here I can create forms or quizzes. So imagine a quiz as a self-marking test. So I can go in your new quiz and I can say, call this a history test. And I can type in here, well, this is grade 5 history. And then I can go add sections. So if I drop down here, I can add sections. I can add file uploads and different other ones. I can also do multiple choice, text questions, and rating questions. So I'm going to add a text question, and I'm going to say, discuss the state of the nation. Discuss the state of the nation. They can put the answer here. They're allowed to have a long answer. I can add the points. It's for 100 points, and it's required. So I can then go and have them submit tests, and I can put together tests. Now, I'm not very good at this, but you can start creating quizzes and tests for your students, and you can also share them. Only people in the organization, the school, and they can get access to it. So please go play with forms. Like I said, you can create forms and quizzes and you can also work with other teachers on forms. So I could have forms or quizzes that's been shared with me, and we can co-author it together. Then another option that Microsoft has deployed is the OneNote class notebook. Now this is very, very cool. So I can create a class notebook, and I can call this notebook, and I mean, I'm going to take Microsoft's example, and I want to call this biology grade 8. Next. The notebook, what do I want in this notebook? So you can see here, I can say students and teachers can work together. Teachers can edit the content, students can edit. That's a collaboration space. Content library is where I upload my textbooks and any notes and stuff I have in there. So I can publish it. Teachers can publish and edit, students can only view. And on the student notebooks, each student can edit their own notebook, and the student can edit or edit their own content and not view other notebooks. So that's pretty cool. Go in there and I can add other teachers. So for me, I'm going to add teacher 2. So there's teacher 2. Next, and I'm going to add students. So I'm going to add student 1, and I'm going to add student 2. There's student 2. So I've added my students in there, and then I can do the design. So I've got my handouts, class notes, homework, quizzes, and I can add different sections if I need to. If I go next, it's just going to show you the add section. You see that I can name the section and it'll add it. So I'm going to go next. It's going to preview it for me. So that's what it will look like. The teacher's notebook will have the welcome. It'll have the collaboration space where everybody works together. It'll have the content library in there, and you got student 1 and 2. Student notebooks. The student notebook will look like this. It'll have the collaboration space where everybody can work together. You got the content library, which is your textbooks, and the student can then see their handouts, class notes, homework, and quizzes for themselves. I'm going to create this notebook so long, and while that is setting up, I'm going to go into some of the questions. So the question here was, can one create math assessments with all the different algebraic equations and symbols? I haven't tried it, to be honest, for the math. We'll just have to test it. So I don't want to say yes and then we can't do it. But there is some math equations that you can do. And in Teams, we're going to have a look at that and how you would do that in Teams. But yeah, that's something we just need to test a little bit further. Let me just publish that a question for you. So the question was, can you use math equations, etc. inside there? To some extent, yes, but we'll just need to test because, again, you know, I'm not sure what grades we're referring to, etc. So then I can obviously download the class notebook add-in, and this would work if I have OneNote 2016 installed on my machine, and then I can get the OneNote notebook. I'm going to go back to home. Oh, sorry, just go back here. Sorry, I'm going back now. Just go back to my Teams here. If I go to my OneNote, I will now be able to see my notebook. So if I go to my notebooks, the teacher will see their notebooks here, class notebook here, and I'll be able to go into my separate class notebook. So that's just busy loading up, and I'll be able to go into my class notebook. So it's just busy. Why is it not opening now? Manage notebooks. Okay, there, my notebook there, and I'm going to open this notebook. So I'm going to open this notebook. So if I go here, you can see I can lock the collaboration space, which is pretty cool. And I can also collaborate in space, give students specific permissions, what they can and can't do in the collaboration space. And that is pretty cool because older students will obviously have more responsibility. and you can give them a little bit more leniency in working the collaboration space. Younger students, possibly, you don't want to give them too much access so that they don't go in there and delete stuff. So you must just decide on your kids, how do you want to give them access to the collaboration space. But yeah, you can see there's a nice little welcome note with hands-on training. So again, what I'm showing you today is available in hands-on training. So if I go here with hands-on training, it will show you all the training here. And then you can also log support tickets. And if you want to do a suggestion, you can add that in there. If I go into the FAQ, it'll give you the FAQ in here. So the help centers here, it shows you where can I find OneNote and class notebook training courses, etc. So everything, all the information that you need is here. And then I can also try out a staff notebook. So I don't necessarily have to create a teacher notebook. I can also create a staff notebook. So if I want to collaborate, for instance, on the Microsoft Educator Community course, I will then be able to create a staff notebook. So guys, please go in there, test it, play with it. And again, if you don't have it set up for your school, speak to one of your account managers and we'll happily facilitate. Just quickly go into the collaboration space. I can go into the collaboration space, and this is where I will use the collaboration space. And again, yeah, it'll give you the example what you can do. So you can put information in there. You can create private sections if you do need to, and you can share information with kids where you can work on stuff together. Then on my content library, it again shows me this is where I would upload the content. Remember, students can't change this, okay? So they can, all your handouts, everything would go in here. And the nice thing with this is that you can add pages at the bottom. So you can see there, you can add multiple pages. So, and then you can also, what you can do is drag pages, move it up and down, and you can also make it a sub page. So if I make something a sub page, so I've got 2 sub pages there, and then I can also roll it up into one. So you can see I've got pages underneath pages. So which way you set up your handout, you can do that. Then the students, you'll be able to see the student notebooks. So you'll see their class notes. So any notes they've taken in the class, you'll be able to see there. You'll see out the handouts. Again, your handouts that you give to each kid will be in here. If there were any quizzes, you'll see the quiz responses here, and you can see any homework that they've handed in. So you can now go see each student in your class, their work. So you'll have all your students listed in one place there. But that is OneNote class notebook. I suggest again that you go to the website, check it out, play with it. There's quite a bit that you can do with this. So that is OneNote class notebook. So I will close that, and then I want to go straight into a team. So let me just go here. Just want to do that just so that I do have access to that. I just want to move this way. Okay, so now we're going to go into Teams. Now, a lot of you would have used Teams already. So Teams is your collaboration and chat space for the school, for you as a teacher to communicate with other teachers, but also to communicate with students. Okay, now I'm just quickly going to go through the makeup of the Teams environment, and then I'm going to talk you guys through to it. So you can see your profile. So if you logged in as a teacher, you'll see your profile here. You can change your status: available, busy, do not disturb, be right back, or peer away. I can set status messages, and I can also change my settings. How do I get notifications? So how do I want my layout? Do I want a grid layout? Do I want a list layout? You know, as a teacher, I suggest you use grid layout as it's just easier to see. Also, the dark mode, I think is preferable as it's easier on the eyes. And then notifications, I can send, how do I get notifications? So I can see when personal messages, channel mentions, team mentions, and how I get notified. That's very important Because if you have everything on and banned email, you're going to get a lot of email, you're going to get a lot of banned notifications. So set this up the way you find the best for you. Then we've got the search command bar at the top. Now, yeah, I could search for people. So if I type in a person's name, it will bring up the person in the organization or the school. If I go type in student 1, you can see there, I can go see student 1 or student 2. If I click on their name, it will open up a chat to that student. So then with that one-on-one chat, I can now have a one-on-one conversation with the student. I can share files with them. I can see which class they're in, and I can see the activity. So this will probably be more one-on-one conversation will probably be more for teachers. So if I go teacher 2, I can then start to have a chat with teacher 2. Good morning. So you can see there I can chat with them, I can share files with them, and I can also arrange a meeting with them. Now the file share is nice because if I upload files here, you'll be able to work on it together. So I can share a file either from OneDrive or from my computer. Now I'm going to just upload it from my computer. And boom, 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 just quickly just find a file here. Just go demo, and I'm going to go Excel, and we're going to go do Excel 1 here. So I'm going to upload that file, so you'll see that file is available here. So once it's available here, it's now shared between myself and teacher 2. Now the beauty about this is that if I open this, it doesn't open in Excel on the machine. I can, but it first will open it inside Teams. So it'll open it up inside Teams, and then I can go work on this together with teacher 2 or whoever I've shared it with. So we can work in here. Once I'm done working with this, I can close it, and teacher 2 can go in afterwards and edit it. So this is very, very cool. If you have spreadsheets or documents that you work on constantly, you can also pin it to the tab yet as a tab. So I can go say this will be Excel document. We can call this, I don't know, register, or actually more report cards. And I'm going to select the file that I want to pin, save, and you see what it does is it pins it to the top here. So it adds it as a tab. Then I can go edit this, etc. And I can also go call, audio call the teacher and or video call the teacher. So there's a question in here. What do you suggest for grade 1? So 6, 7-year-olds, this looks too advanced for them. You know, the question is, what about 6 and 7-year-olds? Now, you know, I can share my personal opinion with you, which I don't think would be quite right. It's a difficult question because most of the teaching apps that's available, teaching that's out there, is that I'm showing you now is for the older kids that have their own PCs, etc. I think what you can do for grade 6 and 7s to do remote teaching on is using a live event where you create a live event. I'm going to cover that just now with you. Create a live event, share like we did now. So you guys clicked on the URL to get to the live event, and then that will unfortunately a one-sided teaching experience. You're not going to get an interactive teaching experience like you would with you know, you won't get the same interactive experience as in face-to-face teaching. So yes, that is a difficult question. Yeah, if I was doing it, I'd probably do for the little ones, I'd use live events to tell stories, etc. And the parents will obviously have to listen in, and you can give them activities to do, and then the parents can almost be like the caretaker or the student helper, facilitating the activities. I mean, that's you know, that's just sort of my thinking around it. Again, you know, we are in unprecedented times with the crisis we're going through. So, you know, as teachers, we'll just have to think out the box and how we will use technology. Yes, yeah, yes. Claire, I'm going to publish this. This is a very good statement. Yeah, you can, again, that's thinking outside the box, and that's sharing the information with parents, and then they can you know, almost be like your student helper. Then the other question was, how do you share documents with many? Can we all work at the same time on the same document? Answer is yes, and we're going to do that in a Teams environment, and I'm going to show you that now. So what I've showed you now was a one-on-one conversation. So that's a one-on-one chat with a fellow teacher or even external. So I could chat externally to parents. So I could type in a external parent's email. So yeah, I'm just going to use my work email, and it's going to say search externally, and there's external, and then I can start chatting to this person externally. And you can see there, I do not disturb at the moment because I'm busy presenting, but I can chat to parents straight from here, one-on-one conversation. So I don't, your kid is amazing. You know, I don't know, just encourage the parents and tell them how awesome their kids are. But you can then chat to parents directly through this platform. They don't need a license. If they don't have Teams, they'll obviously have to sign up for Teams, so that's a free account for them. And also, if they, like me and most companies, that you already have a 365 account, this will go straight through to their work 365 account, and you can chat to parents, and you can video call and audio call them. So that is one-on-one conversations with teachers internally and externally with parents, etc. Contacts, again, you can set up your contacts in here. So you can set up contacts here. So I can create a new contact group, and I can call this parents. And I can literally go create a list of parents that I have to deal with, and I can go add in a contact. This will be, just call this Trickards. Sorry, just got to add the email address in there. So louist@ftechkzn.co.za, and it will add my contact in there, and then you'll see the contact appear there. So I can have contacts for parents. I can have a contact for group for teachers, etc. So you just, again, got to think outside the box, and you can manage this quite easy. You can call it for, you know, parents per grade or per class, etc. So that is one-on-one conversations, chats, and contacts. Okay, the next thing that I want to show you here quickly is something that I use before I even go down further. Is teachers do research. Well, I hope they do research. If I go into this command bar at the top here, and I go at, you see there, it'll open up other applications. So I can, and the one I want to show you here is the Wikipedia search. So if I go Wikipedia search, if you add it for the first time, you just got to add it. And then I can go search for a term. So I can go COVID-19, you know, just because that's relevant at the moment. And I can go search Wikipedia straight from Teams. This is very powerful. So so this is very powerful in the way I can search. So I can go search, what did I say, my one exam question, state of the nation, South Africa, you know. I'm pushing Wikipedia to the limits now, but yeah, there we go. There's the state of the nation address, South Africa. So you can go click on it, and then it gives you a little overview. And if I click on this, it will open it up in a new tab in Wikipedia, and I'll see all the information on state of the nation address. Okay, so you can see that this is very powerful, and you can use this to do research again for your students. So we just had a question here that I just want to answer quickly. Can I import contacts from your inbox? If it's saved in your global address list, okay, if it's in your GAL, then yes, you can add it from there. Again, I don't have any contacts in my GAL in this environment, so I won't see them in there. But yes, if the contacts are saved in your address book, you will be able to your global address book in your organization, then you'll be able to add them there. Again, so I'm just going through this. That's a Wikipedia search. And again, you can go quickly look at news. So if I go news, add the news, I can go look at news and you know what's relevant again for today's day and age is COVID-19, and I can see all the latest news around the COVID-19, for instance. You know, so very powerful tool that you can use in your preparation for lessons, or just making sure you're staying up to date with information. Okay, so then we're going to look at Teams. Now, this is where Teams become so awesome. So I can create a team. So let's do this. Let's just walk through this. So I can create a team, and I can create a few different types of teams. So I can create a class team, which would be biology, grade 8. So I'm going to go create a class, and I'm going to call this biology grade 8, and I can put a description if I need to, and then I can go, it creates a team. Then I can go add students. So I'll add my different students in there. So again, I've got student 1 and I've got student 2. Okay, there's my students, and I'm going to add my teachers. Well, I'm the only teacher in there, but if there were other teachers that that we needed to add, I can add them in there. I'm just going to skip. I'm just going to add those, and then I'm going to, okay, once they've added, I'm going to close it, and then it will create the team for me. And the beauty of this is it creates a team with the icon, and I can obviously change this picture, and it creates a general channel. Okay, now you've got to understand a channel is a topic in the team. So yeah, I would have my biology grade 8 classroom, and then I'll have a general channel where we have general discussion. So the guys want to say, you know, kids can go say, is there any homework? You know, they can, they can chat and etc. Or please hand in your homework, etc. I can upload class materials here. I can upload files in here, so I can upload files for the kids. I can go look at the class notebook for that specific class. So when I create a team, it automatically creates a class notebook. So I can go look at the class notebook, set up a class notebook, and just go blank notebook. There it says to me there, next, what I want to put in there, create. And it's now busy creating a class notebook for me. I can then also have assignments in that specific class. Apologies, I just want to have a sip of coffee while that loads. So I can also have assignments in classes. So I can go create assignments per class. So I can go create, or per topic. So yeah, I'm just going to do it in the general. And I'm going to go say create. Okay. I can do an assignment or a quiz. So I'm going to do, let's do an assignment. So I'm going to go create an assignment. And then I can go put in the title. So I don't know, pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seed, I don't know. Instructions, I can go add the instructions in there, dissect the pumpkin seed, plant it, grow it, whatever you want to do. And I can add the resources to that. So if I need to add any notes, class handouts to that, I can say how much points it's for, or how, yeah. And then I can go add a rubric. A lot of teachers has asked for this, but I can go create a new rubric, and I can go put in a marking rubric with a marking criteria, and add that on there. So that is very, very cool. Okay, so that's something that's been asked in the past. and Microsoft has now included this, so I can add a rubric. I can assign it to all students, or I can assign it to specific students. So if you have students that's required, you know, extra attention, they want extra homework or extra exercises to work on, you know, you can assign it individually, or you can assign it to the class. Okay, and then the due date, I can put the due date in there, and assignments will be posted immediately with handings and allowed. I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to say this in here. I want this assignment to be scheduled in the future, so it means you can start planning. I can put in the due date and the closing date, okay, and then it will assign it to the students. I can also, if I turn off close date, so if I don't select it, so if I select the due date and the close date's the same, there won't be any late hand-ins allowed. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel this, so I can set up, how do I want to set up assignments? And if I click assign, it will then go ahead and assign the assignments to the kids. Okay, once it's assigned and handed in, so one kid start handing it in, you will see the assignments come in here and you can mark it. Okay, so as the kids assign it, you can go in here and mark it, and then also the grades will be posted here. So you can go post grades for the kids. So you can say student 1 got X amount, student 2 got that amount, and just go to the assignment here. So there it posts it inside the general biology channel, and then you can either add extra messages to this, or you can go view the assignment. If I go view the assignment, again, it'll open it in here, and then I can go edit the assignment, so I can see, you know, in the assignment, student 1 hasn't had it in yet, student 2 hasn't had it in yet. I can add feedback for them, and I can put their mark in here. I can go also select the student view, so this is what the student view will look like if I had any instructions and if they had any work in there. So this to me is a really, really cool way of managing assignments. Then what I can do is I can go add channels. So I can have that's a general channel for the class, but I could go and do a channel on plants, and everybody can see the channel. Okay, add, and then I can do a channel on animals. I don't know. Go add a channel animals. Okay, and I can go add. And then I could have, if I had more than one teacher in this class and we need to share private notes with each other, I can go set up a private channel. So if I go create a private channel and I had a teacher assigned, I can go call this the teacher's channel. Okay, next, and I can assign who's got access to the teacher's channel. If I go teacher, I don't have any other teachers here, but I could go add another teacher, and only the teachers would have access to that channel. No, a good question. Do all students see everyone's marks? No. So it's again individually for the student, so they can see their own marks. And again, if you choose to, you know, you can put the marks out there in a channel. But again, that's up to you and the way you teach. You know, if you know, some like to keep the marks separate, some like to show the marks. It's entirely up to you. Getting back to the channels, again, as you can see here, I've got the general channel with my assignments and notebooks. But under the animals one, I've only got files and notes. So here I can do my posts around that topic, plants, that topic, add in notes in here. I can also add, if I need to, other tabs. So if I need to add a PDF, okay, and if I'm maybe using other tools, education tools, you can see there's quite a lot of other tools in here. Again, that's only if you're using these tools existingly, using these tools, you can add them in there. Now I don't know all the school tools that's out there. But yeah, you can certainly add a lot of the education tools in here. Good. So I know Moodle is one that the guys use, so you could add Moodle in there to use it. So the good question, Claire. What is the maximum number of people you can add in a team? It's 250 people. Okay, so in in a meeting, it is 250 people. In a team, it is 5,000 people. So I can have 5,000 people inside a team. You know, that's a lot. That's a massive classroom. Okay, so I can add a lot of people in there. So just going back to all teams, if I go in here, I can now go create another team. So yeah, I've got my biology, and I can go create all my teams. So I can create all my classes in here, work in each class in there, but I can also add a PLC, which is a professional learning community. So this will be a educators only team to organize materials, access notebooks, etc. So that is pretty cool. We don't have time to go through all this, but you can go play around with it, and you can go add a PLC, professional learning community. I can add staff. Now schools are made up not only of teachers and students, they're also made up of admin staff. So if I need to create a team for admin staff, office staff, I can do that. So you know, if I need to put in my marketing or Bursa or office staff in there, I can create that team. And then this to me is cool. I can go create. So every school's got clubs or sports. So if I want to go do and say a first team rugby, so there's my first team rugby team. Only it's I can do it as a public team because anybody can join there. I can go in there, or the chess club or the tennis club, etc. And I'm going to start adding members, and I'm just going to add student 1, and I can also go add teacher 2, for instance. And I'm going to add this. Boom! Once that's added, the teacher 2. I'm also going to make the owner, and I'm going to close this, and then it will create the first tech rugby team. And in here, the first team rugby, and in here I can put posts and files. I can communicate with the students, communicate with the guys. So it's a nice space for them to talk about that club or community. And again, you can see there's my teams here. If I go create, I can go create again other teams. So this is a very, very, very powerful tool. If I want to meet with my kids, so if I'm in a class, I'm going to biology grade 8, and I want to meet with everybody, I can go say meet now. And what it does is, I'm just going to block this for now. And what I can do now is I can go meet up with everybody. So we want to meet online. I can go meet, and this is pumpkin seed discussion. And if I click meet now, it will then go into a pumpkin seed discussion. So I'm not going to hang it up. I don't want to connect because then it'll kick me out of this meeting. But you can see how I can now set up live teaching sessions with the students. So not only am I creating a class with all the material and everything else in it, I can now go set up a meet now, or I can go schedule later meetings, and that's where we get into calendar. If I go into my calendar here, you can see here I can either set up meet now, or I can create a new meeting. If I go create a new meeting, I'll go in here, I can go select the title, select the attendees if it's external, okay, or I can go meet in a channel. So I can go say I want to meet with my biology students around just general, and then add the required attendees and send the session out. I'm just going to go discard this, and then I can also do a meet now. If I go in here, it will then, like I said, open up the meet now. I'm just going to escape out of that, and we can add meetings. Currently in this, live events is not available because this is a new tenant that I've set up, so it hasn't populated through yet. But if you go into calendar, you can set up a live event like I've got now, and then you can go click on it, live event, select the live event settings. So that is your calendar, and this integrates with your Outlook in Office 365. So this will integrate in your calendar, so you can plan out your teaching sessions, especially with the remote teaching. In assignments, I can go look at the different assignments, so I can choose the classes, and I will see all my assignments per class. Okay, so I can go see, there's my pumpkin seeds assignments, and I can go create more assignments in the biology class. So I can go manage my assignments here. Okay, so then the next question was, as a school, would one person need to create or add all the students? So again, the management of teams, different schools do it differently. So I worked very closely with Hilton College, and the way they've done it, they might have changed now, but the way they've done it initially is that they created all the users into the tenant, and then the teacher requests what team, because you don't want people creating teams willy-nilly all over the place. That would clog up the environment. So teachers would request the class team that needs to be created, and then the IT department would assign the teacher as the owner, and then the teacher can go add the students in. So remember when I went here and created a team, I added a owner to it. So if I go to all my teams, remember in here I said I had a team owner. If I go manage members or just manage team, and I go to the members, you can see there's the owner. Now owner is able to add users to a team. So my advice is let one person create the team, so you have cohesion in your environment and you don't have information everywhere. And then the person responsible for that class, so grade 8 teacher, will add the students to it. And for the exception of social clubs or sports clubs, sports teams, which I will make public, the rest I'll all create as private teams. Okay, so that answers that question. Then if I go down here, I can also look at my call history. So again, yeah, I can go dial people from here, which is pretty cool. Later on, the schools this can be used as a PABX replacement. So if we had to add phone system licenses to this, you can use it as a dialing numbers like 031, etc., or 084, 082. You can add that on, so this can become a PABX replacement for the school. And then again, planner. So planner is very much like Trello. It's a bucket-based planning system. We don't have time to go in there now, but in Teams. So let me just go in Teams to show you what the use case is. So if I have a biology class, I've got a general team, and we're planning a class NG function or class NG. We're planning a class trip. I can go add a planner. So I can call it, this is a trip to the museum, a trip to the to Shaka. Let me just go say create a new plan. I'm going to go field trip, just for lack of better explanation, field trip, and I can go save it. Okay, and then once this is saved, it will publish it to the team. And then I can go plan my field trip from here. So I can go add different buckets. So this is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So again, you can plan this out the way you need to. So I can go then add different tasks. So I can go get permission slips. Add permission slips. Due date is by 23rd. Now I can assign it to either student or teachers, student, and then add task, and then I can move it between my phases. So you can see here that you can create planner to plan pretty much anything, and you can have multiple plans per channel. Okay, so that is Planner. Again, if you go play with this, it's very easy to manage and get to learn. It's straightforward. As you can see, you can do your charts and your schedule. The one last thing I quickly want to show you is shifts. Now, if I go into shifts, I could use this to work out my period roster or my class roster in the school, and I can create a team schedule. So I can go create a schedule for the biology grade 8s. So I go confirm, and I can go create a schedule in here. Now, I haven't played with this really or worked with this in a school environment. I have worked with it in a corporate environment, but you can go create your roster here, but play around with it. And again, you can have multiple rosters, so biology, new schedule, so you can create for all your different classes. You can create your rosters in here and assign the teachers and that into the different rosters. So yeah, use it. I know roster creation is this magical thing that happens over December holidays, and you know, there's teachers that say just leave us alone with the board and strings and we'll figure it out. But you can now start using shifts. Guys, that's me on the training. Our time is just about up. We've got about 4 minutes left, and I would like to leave the last bit of time just for a Q&A session. So I want to be online now. If you'd like to post your questions, comments, or just want to see certain features, you are welcome to do so now. Thank you for listening. Yeah, Q&A. You guys are welcome to post questions.
Louis, can you put my email address there? If anyone's got further questions, they can just reach out to us.
Okay, so I can do that. Jean, what is your email address?
JEANF.
Yeah.
At ftechkzn.co.
Okay, so guys, there's John's email address twice. So if you've got any questions, you're welcome to chat to him, and he'll point you the right way. Guys, I'm going to be online for another 3 minutes. If there's any questions, you're welcome to pop them in the chat. Otherwise, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay strong, and all the best with teaching. Thanks, guys.